And I now present this fucking thing.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Will, and this is another retro review. This is the month of retro reviews, and this one is one that is really one of my childhood favorites. I am here to do a review of 1994's The Mask. This stars Jim Carrey and Cameron Diaz, and a bunch of other people that I do not remember what their names are. A movie from my childhood. It definitely is one that has stuck with me a lot. Like, I know all the words to a lot of the scenes, which is stupid. But before I talk about the movie, I just want to say thank you so much for checking out this video. I really do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel and this is your first time watching one of my videos, hi, my name is Will, and I do geeky stuff on the internet. I do reviews, reactions, discussions, some gaming, some drinking, but it's just like to have a lot of fun, and I'd like to entertain as best as humanly possible for you watching at home. If you're into that sort of geeky thing and you like to hear it from a bear's perspective, why not subscribe to the channel? I'm on the road this year to try to get to 500 subscribers. It's a train that keeps on keeping on, and if you'd like to hop aboard the train, maybe subscribe to the channel, like and share this video around, and just let me know what you think in the comments. But let's talk about The Mask. So The Mask stars Jim Carrey, who plays Stanley Ipkiss. He's kind of a very timid, very quiet individual who's just, he gets shitted on a lot in this movie. It kind of sucks. And a lot of his stuff is just internally repressed and things like that. And everything changes when he finds this mystical mask that unlocks the deepest part of himself, really just exacerbates the id of the personality spectrum, and just turns him into this wild man, crazy, horned up, superpowered being who just goes around and just has a good time. And he gets wrapped into a whole scheme with the mafia, and he falls in love with Tina, who's played by Cameron Diaz. This is like pre-superstardom Cameron Diaz, before she really blew up, because if you look at the credits, she is billed last in this movie, which is surprising considering all the people in this movie, and only her and Jim Carrey are like the top of the box office and like the next 10 years at that point. It is based off of a comic book. I don't know if a lot of people realize it's based off of a Dark Horse comic by the same name, and the comic was really dark, and I didn't realize that until I was an adult, that this was based off of a comic. I just thought it was just Jim Carrey being Jim Carrey. But I like Jim Carrey in this movie a lot. The movie came out in 1994, which is the year of Jim Carrey's 3 like super popular hit movies. You got Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask. They all came out in the same year, which is insane considering how much of the cultural zeitgeist that those movies had an effect on. Like, lines from this movie I remember by heart.
Smokin! Ooh, somebody stop me! Milk. It's party time! P-A-R-T. Why? Because I gotta! Tell Scarlett I do give a damn.
Look, Ma! I'm roadkill! Ha ha ha!
You love me! You really love me!
Dance sequences I remember by heart.
They call me Cuba Pete. I'm the king of the rumba beat. When I play the maracas, I go chick chicky boom, chick chicky boom. Hey, see them apart, hey, dancing down each side. Hey, maybe just my friends too wide.
I mean, when he is Stanley, when he is the timid self, it reminded me a lot of myself as a kid. I was very quiet. I was very much in my own shell. I didn't really break out. Even nowadays, I don't feel like I break out as much as I want to. I like how the movie uses the metaphor of mask, that everyone wears a mask, and the mask is really just not our true selves or something like that. So the movie really grips with his own, like, is he really in need of the mask, or can he just be himself without it? And the movie progresses to the point where he can be confident, he can be strong without it and stuff like that. You know, usual movie tropes, but I really still like this movie a lot. I don't know how how PC it is at this point in time. The slapstick comedy that he does when he is transformed is still entertaining to me. Like, I love the dance sequence at the club with him and Cameron Diaz when they're performing. That's really fun. And even the special effects for 94, pretty damn solid. I mean, yeah, you can tell certain things are animated, but it blends really well. Like when he's doing the dance sequences, or when he's doing the other dance sequence when he's dancing with the cops and stuff like that, or even when he freezes and the stuff with the guns, that's really funny. The special effects for 94 were slept on a lot. It's really kind of interesting how movies nowadays, like there are some that have worse special effects than this. I mean, obviously, special effects have gotten so much better for a lot of movies, but when you look at some movies where special effects is really like, ooh, that doesn't look good. But when this movie is like, damn, that looks good, it's really surprising. Fun fact, when I was a kid, I tried to go to a Halloween party dressed up as the Mask, but we couldn't figure out how to get the green to look right on my face. So I just ended up going as Black Dick Tracy because I had the yellow suit anyway. So I don't think I have a picture for it. I'll have to see if I can find a picture for it. If I've got one, I'll throw it in there. This is a fun movie. Is it most people's favorite? No, I think most people would probably say Ace Ventura or Dumb and Dumber is probably their favorite. Let me know if this is one of your favorites, because this is, of the three, I would say, and keep in mind, I haven't watched Dumb and Dumber in a while, but for me, like, this ranks up there with Ace Ventura. Like, they're like here, and Dumb and Dumber is like probably here. But again, I haven't watched Dumb and Dumber in a while, so it's hard to say. But when regard with this movie, I think this one was so cool for someone who felt like they were very introverted at the time, and to see a character go from that to be someone super confident, but also have this journey throughout the movie as well as to grow into a confident person. You gotta give some respect to Milo, his dog, who is equally sporadic like he is, especially when he puts on the mask. So the dog wears the mask in the movie as well, and turned into a absolute monster, which is hilarious to watch too. This movie's also a lot more, I think it's rated PG-13, but it leaned really close to like R rating in certain scenes. It's like, there's stuff in the movie that, again, this was geared towards kids, I think, when it first came out, because they even had an animated series come out after a while. There was like the used condom that was in one of the bits. His leching over Tina when he's transformed is like borderline a sexual assault, like super borderline. He impales two mechanics, gives them colonoscopies with mufflers. That's a bit much. The dog pees on someone's head. You can kind of chalk that up to animals or whatever. I mean, it's wild. It's so wild. And Jim Carrey's like top form in this movie. Crazy good in this. It was so much fun to watch this movie again. It might not be your thing, but for someone who's very introverted at times, like, this movie taught me it was okay to make wild, like, facial expressions, but I still don't necessarily do it in front of people. It's just, it's me. It is what it is. I have social issues. I do. Hard to believe, but you can develop those and repress them and develop them again over time for one reason or another. Anyway, this isn't me analyzing my mental state. This is me talking about the movie. I'm surprised again that Cameron Diaz, like, this is one of like her first real roles that I can think of, especially that she was billed so low on him, but she is literally the co-star of the movie. Her and Stanley's like relationship that develops through the movie is the forefront of the movie. I mean, you do have a villain, his name is Dorian, who is a mob boss, and he's also one who puts the mask on and it turns him evil and dark, but he was already kind of evil, so it just amplified that, because that's what the mask does. It just amplifies everything about you, or brings out the deepest parts of you. So obviously he is super evil deep down. That's what the movie is basically telling you. But it was fun. It's a fun movie. It's one that I like to revisit periodically, but it's been a while since I've looked at it, and it's kind of on level with Clue in terms of like my remembering lines of a movie. It was just, for the type of kid I was, this was like like my favorite. It really was, and it still holds up surprisingly. If you watch any Jim Carrey movies, you have to see Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, and The Mask, because for those three movies to come out in the same year by one person and to be such successes and such different portrayals of his comedic performance is actually really interesting to watch. Like, you should check out all three, but for this, of course, you should check out The Mask if you haven't watched it. But if you have, I'm very curious to see what you remember from it, or do you like it? Is it one of you? Am I alone that this is one of my favorites of Jim Carrey? You know, let me know those things in the comments. That's going to be my retro review for The Mask. So again, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. As always, thank you so much for checking out this and all my videos. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, with a retro review, it's a little different. It's not really me super dissecting the movie, when a lot of times it's a movie I like, or it's a movie that informs people about my personality a little bit more. So The Mask is very high on my list. Let that dictate what you think my personality is like. But or just look at any of the movies that I have reviewed over the course of almost 5 years of doing YouTube. Sheesh. Again, if this was your first video checking me out, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you would consider subscribing to the channel. Help me get to 500 subscribers. I'm trying as best as I can. Can't get there without you. But I do have a ton of videos on the channel right now that you're more than welcome to check out. I've got videos in the works, and when I hit 500, I will be doing something interesting that I will need your help with. So if we get to 500, or when we get to 500, look forward to that. You can follow me on a bunch of different social media platforms listed at the end of this video. Like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. As always, until next time, I will catch you later. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you did like this video, why not give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends? You can subscribe to the channel by clicking on my gorgeous little face right over there. You can follow me on all the various social media platforms right below. And last but certainly not least, if you've got a few extra minutes, why not check out one of the lovely videos floating right over here. Later.